Wait, what? Before we even get into this absolutely devastating story, you need to hear this. Jimmy Uso, one half of the legendary Bloodline, just discovered something that would break any man. His wife, Naomi, the woman he's been married to since 2014, is reportedly pregnant. And here's where this gets absolutely insane. The baby might not be his. I know what you're thinking. This can't be real. But stick with me, because what I'm about to reveal will make your blood boil, and you'll understand why the entire WWE universe is in complete shock right now. Now, before I dive deeper into this absolute nightmare scenario, let me ask you something. When you think of power couples in WWE, who comes to mind? John Cena and Nikki Bella? Triple H and Stephanie? Well, Jimmy Uso and Naomi were right up there with them. They seemed untouchable. They had it all: the chemistry, the success, the respect from fans worldwide. But behind those smiles and those championship celebrations, something sinister was brewing. And when Jimmy found out the truth, everything came crashing down like a house of cards in a hurricane. Here's what we know so far, and trust me, this timeline is absolutely chilling. According to multiple sources close to the couple, Jimmy noticed something was off months ago. Naomi started becoming distant, her phone was constantly buzzing with messages she'd hide, and she was taking more solo trips than usual. Now, Jimmy isn't stupid. This man has been in the business long enough to know when something doesn't add up. But what he discovered would haunt him forever. The pregnancy announcement should have been a moment of pure joy, right? Wrong. When Naomi broke the news to Jimmy, something in her delivery felt off. Witnesses say Jimmy's face went from excited to confused to absolutely devastated in a matter of seconds. Why? Because the timeline didn't match up. Jimmy had been on an extended tour overseas during the exact period when conception would have occurred. The math wasn't mathing, and Jimmy knew it immediately. Now here's a quick trivia question for all you loyal Wrestling Zone Insider fans out there. Drop your answer in the comments below. In what year did Jimmy Uso and Naomi get married? Was it 2012, 2014, or 2016? Let me know what you think. But back to this absolute disaster of a situation. According to insiders, after the initial pregnancy announcement, Jimmy demanded answers. He wanted to know the truth, and he wanted it now. The confrontation that followed was apparently explosive. Neighbors reported hearing shouting from their home, and within hours, Jimmy had packed his bags and left. Just like that, a decade-long marriage was hanging by a thread. Now, you might be wondering, who's the other guy? Who could possibly have the audacity to get involved with a married WWE superstar's wife? Well, that's where this story gets even more complicated. Rumor has it that the mystery man is someone within the wrestling industry. Some sources are pointing fingers at a rising NXT star who's been spotted with Naomi on several occasions. Others claim it's someone from a rival promotion who she met during independent appearances. The speculation is absolutely wild right now, and here's what makes this situation even more infuriating. Jimmy has been nothing but loyal. This man has stood by Naomi through everything. When she was released from WWE in 2022 after that walkout incident, Jimmy supported her decision even though it put his own position in jeopardy. When she returned to WWE, he was her biggest cheerleader. He's promoted her brand, defended her on social media, and has been the definition of a supportive husband. And this is how he gets repaid? With betrayal of the highest order? The WWE locker room is apparently divided over this situation. Some superstars are Team Jimmy all the way, saying he deserves better and that Naomi crossed an unforgivable line. Others are urging people to wait for all the facts before rushing to judgment. But here's the thing, when you're dealing with pregnancy and potential infidelity, the facts are pretty black and white. Either the baby is Jimmy's, or it isn't. And from everything we're hearing, Jimmy has serious doubts. Quick trivia question number 2 for you guys. Comment below, how many times has Jimmy Uso been a tag team champion in WWE? Is it 5 times, 7 times, or 9 times? Drop that answer down below and let's see who the real WWE historians are in our Wrestling Zone Insider family. Now, let's talk about the legal implications here, because this situation is about to get messy. Sources close to Jimmy say he's already contacted divorce attorneys and is preparing to file papers. But here's where it gets complicated. California, where the couple resides, is a community property state. That means everything acquired during the marriage gets split 50-50. We're talking about millions of dollars here. Jimmy's WWE contract, merchandise sales, his shares in the Bloodline brand, everything is on the table. And with a potential child involved, custody and child support become massive issues, especially if paternity is in question. The emotional toll this is taking on Jimmy cannot be overstated. This man has built his entire identity around family. The Bloodline storyline in WWE isn't just a character for him, it's his real life. His brothers, his cousins, his heritage, family is everything to Jimmy Uso. So to have his own nuclear family potentially destroyed by infidelity, that's got to be absolutely crushing him from the inside out. Here's something that'll make you even angrier. Naomi has reportedly been silent on social media ever since the news broke. Her Instagram, which usually gets updated daily with workout videos and fashion posts, has been completely dead. Her Twitter? Nothing. It's radio silence. And you know what that tells me? She knows she messed up. She knows the WWE universe is about to come down on her like a ton of bricks, and she's hiding. Meanwhile, Jimmy has been spotted at his brother J's house multiple times over the past week. The Uso brothers have always been tight, and it's clear Jimmy needs his family now more than ever. Can you imagine how those conversations are going? G probably wants to fly off the handle and confront Naomi himself. Their father, Rikishi, is likely devastated. This situation doesn't just affect Jimmy and Naomi, it affects the entire Anoa'i family dynasty. And we have a quick request for you. We are constantly working to improve our content to earn your love and support. That's why we would truly appreciate it if you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update here on Wrestling Zone Insider. Now, let's address the WWE's position in all this. WWE management is reportedly keeping a very close eye on this situation. Both Jimmy and Naomi are under contract, and any scandal that affects their public image affects WWE's brand as well. There are whispers that WWE might step in and request that both parties maintain professionalism and keep their personal drama out of the spotlight. But can you really expect that? This isn't some minor disagreement, this is a marriage ending over potential infidelity and a baby that might not be Jimmy's. The fan reaction has been absolutely nuclear. Social media is blowing up with opinions. Team Jimmy hashtags are trending worldwide. People are calling for Naomi to be released from WWE again. Others are creating conspiracy theories suggesting this whole thing is a work, an angle to build toward some future storyline. But let me tell you something, this feels way too real to be scripted. The pain, the silence, the sudden absence from events, this has all the hallmarks of a legitimate personal crisis. Here's trivia question number 3. Leave your answer in the comments. What is Naomi's real name? Is it Trinity Thatcher, Trinity Johnson, or Trinity McCrae? Let's see who's been paying attention to the details. One thing that's particularly heartbreaking about this situation is the timing. Jimmy Uso was at the absolute peak of his career. The Bloodline storyline has been the hottest thing in wrestling for years. His in-ring work has never been better. His promos have been fire. He was finally getting the individual recognition he deserved, not just as part of a tag team, but as a complete performer. And now this happens, potentially derailing everything he's worked so hard to achieve. Think about how this affects his ability to perform. Wrestling requires focus, dedication, and mental clarity. How is Jimmy supposed to go out there and deliver 5-star matches when his personal life is imploding? How is he supposed to cut emotional promos about family and loyalty when his own family has been torn apart by betrayal? This is the kind of real-life drama that can destroy a wrestler's career if they can't compartmentalize and push through. And what about Naomi's career? If these allegations are true, can she ever recover from this in the court of public opinion? Wrestling fans are notoriously unforgiving when it comes to personal controversies. We've seen careers ended over less. Naomi might walk out to nothing but boos for the rest of her career. Her merchandise sales could tank. Sponsorship deals could disappear. This could be career suicide for her, all because of one massive mistake. The question everyone's asking now is, will Jimmy forgive her? Is there any path forward for this marriage? Some couples have survived infidelity, it's true. But pregnancy? That's a completely different level of betrayal. Every time Jimmy would look at that child, if it isn't his, he'd be reminded of the worst moment of his life. That's not something most people can move past, no matter how much love there once was. Here's what makes me absolutely furious about this whole situation. Jimmy Uso is one of the good guys. Anyone who knows him says he's humble, hardworking, and dedicated to his craft. He doesn't start drama. He doesn't look for attention. He just wants to perform and take care of his family. And for him to be put through this, it's absolutely unjust. If Naomi was unhappy in the marriage, she should have communicated that. She should have been honest. Instead, she allegedly went behind his back and created this nuclear bomb of a situation. Final trivia question for you all. Drop this in the comments. How many siblings does Jimmy Uso have in the wrestling business? Think about it and let me know your answer. So where do we go from here? Well, legally, Jimmy will need to request a paternity test. That's step 1. Once paternity is established, either he'll have confirmation of his worst fears, or he'll discover the baby is his, and this was all a massive misunderstanding. But given everything we're hearing, the former seems more likely than the latter. If the baby isn't Jimmy's, the divorce will proceed rapidly. Assets will be divided, custody won't be an issue obviously, and both parties will move on with their lives separately. Jimmy will have the support of his family and the WWE universe behind him. Naomi will face the consequences of her actions, both personally and professionally. If the baby is Jimmy's, well, that changes everything. It means all these rumors were wrong, and we'll have to reevaluate this entire situation. But the damage to their relationship might already be done. The trust has been shattered. The accusations have been made. Can you really come back from that? What we do know for certain is this: one of WWE's most beloved couples is on the brink of total collapse. A marriage that seemed solid is crumbling before our eyes, and a man who deserves nothing but happiness is going through absolute hell. The wrestling world is watching, waiting, and hoping that somehow, some way, there's a path forward that doesn't end in total devastation. This is Wrestling Zone Insider, bringing you the real stories behind the headlines. Make sure you're subscribed because we'll be following this situation closely and bringing you every update as it happens. Drop your thoughts in the comments, answer those trivia questions, and let's discuss this absolute mess of a situation. Until next time, stay informed, stay passionate, and remember, in wrestling, the real drama often happens outside the ring.